The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here on this 29th of August, the last trading day of the month. And we've got quite a bit of selling here. Dow's down 233 at 45,406. Now, this is going to be very important. Why? Let me just explain. I was going to do this in any case, regardless of whether we made another high today or a pullback. I needed to talk about this. I've spoke about this in May, end of April, beginning of May, end of May, beginning of June, end of June, beginning of July, end of July, beginning of August, and now the end of August, beginning of September. And what it is, and we've seen it each time, look, what happens sometimes is just before the end of the month, a day or a day before, especially, and it happens so often when the week ends on a Friday, but it's very unusual to have the month actually end on a Friday. If there's a sudden sell-off, then the next week starts off with a lower high. So let me just make this in Chapman methodology. Let me make this as clear as I can. If we make by 1 penny, if the Dow goes above 45,757, I should give you the exact figure, 57.84. If it goes to 0.85 anytime this coming week, that means you cannot make a monthly high in the Chapman notation, confirmation of a sell signal or anything like that, until the very last, October the 31st, the very last trading day of October, will confirm whether or not you've made a peak or not. If there is no peak above 45,757, I forgot already, 0.84, all of this coming week, then there's a chance that we're going to make a high. Certainly the weekly chart will be a peak. I've got it as a peak F right now, if that's the case. And so far it looks like it could very well be a peak F. But the monthly chart will be making a peak if there's no new high all the way through the month. If the S&P, and this is very unusual because I've got this as a peak C. I don't see any other way I can count it. There's never an H. So that goes A, E, F/A, G/B, and that means it's a C. There should be a D at some point. But if all of this coming week, there is no new high above the high of yesterday, which was 6508.23. Let me just type that in. 6508. There we go, 508.23. That makes a peak, and it depends on how deep. If it goes below 6350, that's going to be a peak C failure pattern. Now, I have other ways that would mitigate that, but I don't want to use anything other than what we've got. Ooh, should I do that? No, I won't do it now. So this, and the other thing with the S&P, and one of the reasons why I was almost going to grab an SPXS, a short, or even just an SH, a short position in the S&P. And then I thought, no, peak C, there should be a D, got to have patience. 9-period moving average is still great. All the other indices are a little bit weaker, but not the stochastic, which is at 89%. That's fantastic. So that still says there's inner strength, don't mess around. But what does worry me is when you go very quickly in the Chapman methodology, look at this, peak C, on the week of the 1st of August, it goes to 6427.02. Pulls back, the high the next week is 6395.16. So just a minor pullback. And in the very next week, the week of the 15th of August, it makes another new high. Then the next week, it makes just a fractional lower high. That's a D. And now we're in an E with a potential little doji candle. And that just says whenever we get a very quick peak C to D to E, we haven't got the peak E yet, but it says just be careful because it could be quite a bit of a dip. It doesn't mean a sell signal or anything like that. Just be aware that it could happen. And all the technicals are fabulous. So it would just be a sudden, sharp dip. Okay. With that said, if all of next week and then all of the month of September, you don't go, the S&P doesn't go above 6508.23, that makes it a peak in the monthly chart. If it goes to 6508.24, 1 penny above to that leg D that's missing right now or higher, that says that the monthly chart cannot make a peak until all of October. You have to wait. Even if in September we go 1 penny higher to 6508.24, and then immediately start a really big turn down, and the next thing you know, you're at 6200. You still have to wait for the next month before you can confirm that was a peak. I just need to clarify in the Chapman methodology, that's what makes it so potent, that you've got these techniques that force you to be rigorous, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Look at the QQQ, pulling back today down almost 7.5 points at 569.65. This has the potential, and this was worrying me a little bit here. I'm seeing everything so positive, and yet at the same time, there is a chance that we're going to make, now we have to show that there are two patterns here that are vying for one another. We broke out of Chapman falling axe formation. You can now raise that up to there. And it just says really clearly that the QQQs have made a peak be in the weekly chart already, but they have to go to 583.43. 1 penny higher than the August 13th high to be able to start leg C in the weekly chart and then extend the leg in the monthly chart. But if we start to tank and go down below 560, we're at 569. If we go below 565, that's that dreaded H pattern. That's why I'm a little concerned here. But at the same time, for subscribers to the opening call, we are very fortunate. So we got into IREN just a couple of days ago. I'm not even sure. I don't think I've even heard it mentioned, so I don't even know how to pronounce it. Iran Limited Ord. There's Iris. It was Iris Energy Limited, I think. It's the next generation data centers, renewable energy, GPUs involved in the Bitcoin, etc. And I love the chart pattern. And we got in the other day. We got in, and this is the we got in at 2280 on the 26th. That's just a couple of days ago, because I love the pattern, and it was a D. But at the same time, I said I love the action. And what happened was it stalled at a peak D for 2 days. The third day, it went slightly higher. That was yesterday. And I was very cautious about this. We should have had two positions. We only had one. The one, it didn't dip down enough to get the second position. Then I said, forget the second. We'll just deal with one. And today, it spiked up to 29.50. And that's almost a 30% gain in a couple of days. I'm going to watch to see how the gap up candle unfolds. If it closes towards the low of the day, that could be it for the moment. It could be a peak E and then pull back quite sharply. But I did say to subscribers, you've got to take something off. It's just really important. And we've raised the base of support, at least the stop on the core position. So 2280 to 2950, not bad. I'll be back in a moment. We're looking at the Dow now down 202. The S&P is down 45.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, I'm doing FCG. It was a question that came in, but let me just go finish up my analysis here. So we've got the GDX right now trading at a new recovery high. 66.98 is the September of 2011 high that was made. I've got it going until September this year as a left side, right side price time match. It's already broken the previous one that we had, which was going to the 55 area. So now that's, and at 61.89, that's a long way to go to, it's another 5 points, almost 8% or something. But anyway, that's what I've got here as a target for September. Let's see what happens as we go into next week in the gold situation. Look at that breakout that we got. I don't want to go through, well, it is Technical Friday. I will. Remember, I was talking about the reason why I love the gold action, that it went into a technical, this is what I developed years ago. It's called the Chapman Wave Inside Track. It's a very narrow channel, and it becomes a resistance or a repellent or a propellant zone. So it becomes a resistance zone when it tests for the first time back in April. It has 2 bars, hits this, it starts this trend line, and it pulls back sharply. Then it retests the rising diagonal trend line, fails at this peak D, pulls back quite sharply. But then I spoke about it 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago actually. I said, if it gets here, how does it handle it? Does it go for 2 bars, 2 weekly bars, and then pull back? What if it holds? Well, it started to hold very well. And I remember when I was interviewed by Tommy 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm watching this closely because if it breaks to the upside, it was 3 weeks ago. If it breaks to the upside, that'll be the first time. It's a big change. And then I'm probably going to have to give an alternate count, because if it's a G, weekly charts rarely top out at G. They do, but very rarely. So this could be a G/C, very positive, and look how it's broken out. So the GDX, the gold miners ETF, is doing very well. Gold itself, so we remain long our gold position, 34.97 up 23 right now. If it goes, this could be a head and shoulders, but not the way the technicals. Look at the way the 9-period moving average is so strong. Look at the MACD. I don't like when the green line, the 9-period differential, goes so quickly above the 80% level without the red. this is a 26-period exponential moving average, really being strong. Well, it is strong, and the relative strength is strong. The stochastic still only at 61%, and it keeps fading under 80%. So I'm watching this very closely. So far, gold is acting very well, but all that's happening is it's in this rectangle formation. You remember, I've done webinars for subscribers. You can go to, if you become a subscriber, you can review these webinars on the rectangle, the narrow rectangle. I've shown this live so many times over the last week. Let me just show you this. There it is. So the rectangle formation. The rectangle formation has a narrow and a large formulation. Characteristic of the rectangle formation, I've done webinars on this, the long narrow rectangle and the large rectangle. So this is a large rectangle, although the longer it goes, the greater the chances it starts to look like a narrow one. So all I'm saying is there's a chance that it's going to go to the last high, which is the resistance at 35, 34, and then maybe starts to fail again. Or maybe go slightly high, but if it takes out the high that was made, this is the gold itself contract, the high that was made the week of the 25th of April of 3594.6. And that changes, it gets smoothed out. But right now, that's the number. That's certainly the week in the pattern itself. If it takes that out, that is something completely different. That becomes a leg E in the monthly chart. That's fantastic. And the key support is at 3,300. Just keep it as simple as possible. Let's go to silver. Silver's trading. Looks like it wants to make that leg D above 40.42. Here's the rectangle formation I was talking about. You remember, I start off with the outer perimeters, the upper band, the upper wick of the candle, and then the lower wick. And then what do? This is just a pattern you can learn, and just over and over it gets repeated. It goes, if it goes sharply down, certainly in one single swoop to the downside, which this did to trough A, and then it goes higher highs and higher lows, that says there's a really good chance it's going to go just under, right on, or just above the previous high. That'll be 40.42. And then you've got to be careful, because if at any point after that it pulls back very sharply and goes back to the middle of the rectangle range, 38.50, if it closes under 38.50, you could start your trek all the way down again. So this is very important. It's still only leg C in the daily chart, peak C in the weekly chart, leg E in the monthly chart. So that's, with that said, there was a question that came in. So I'm going to go to natural gas, because that was the question. So natural gas has just popped up a little bit. You see what happens? I say the futures get smoothed out. This is not automatic. Every single notation you see on every single one of the hundreds of thousands of my charts, handmade. I do it all. Steve Rhodes has got a very nice system. He's got a Chapman Wave automated. But I have a couple of things that I find I need to do, and I can only do it. I haven't yet. I'm in the process of starting to work on it, where you can do it through a software program. But in the meantime, there's just a couple of variations that can make in my work, can make a really big difference. So we've got a peaky at the 200 peak 200 period moving average way back in March. At about 550, it comes tumbling down, and it goes to the 2.738 low of the 25th. Now it's got a nice leg A, but it's done nice leg A's before. The difference is that the relative strength is working nicely. This is NG, this is the natural gas continuous contract, and the price is moving nicely, but look how much it has to go. It has to go to about 3.16 before that pink 9-period moving average can even attempt to go green above the black. It hasn't been green since there was a moment back in on the 17th of June where it ran up and then turned around immediately from the 200-period moving average from the 4.11 area and came tumbling down. So this is very important. Now do I still have this? Do I have it on the UNG? I think I might have it on the UNG. Yes, UNG. Yeah, I've got this on the UNG. So the UNG, they used to call this the widow or widower maker, because it just went from 138 round number high. Of course, that got smoothed out. So what is that? Oh, it's still 138. Oh, that's UNG. That doesn't change. That's the high of August of 2022. I would say that's 3 years ago. And it's gone tumbling down to the low that was made just a few days ago in the 1172 area. So the question came up, FCG. FCG. It was a statement. I've just started a long position. What do you think? So all I can say is there's a tremendous amount going on in the weekly chart of FCG, which is First Trust National Gas ETF. And the reason why I mention it is look at the 200-period moving average, how it's oscillated above and below. But look how many bars. Just let's go from what you can see right now. Let's move a little to the right. Oh, man, no, I'm not going to move it a little to the right. I'm going to move it all the way to the right. Look at this. I don't want to go back further than this, but since 2022 at least, the 200-period moving average, because it was always above it, was never touched. Then the rule is the closer it gets to it, the greater it's going to grab it as a magnet. And then if it goes down, you've got to see it come back quite quickly to the magnet level. Well, look at this. All the trades have been above except for April. And then going into now, I'll talk about it now. It's improving. Dow's down 225.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, now I should have asked in the break, I should have just typed in to the den about this question of FCG. Let me just do this. So FCG, which is First Trust National Gas, ETF, look at this. I'm going to show, keep your eye, I won't make it very long in terms of the time frame. Just look at the pattern. This daily chart on the left, weekly chart on the right, in the middle, and monthly chart on the right. Have a look at that, and have a look at this. Look at that pyramid shape. And I thought I'd drawn this in. Maybe I lost it because it got smoothed out. But look at this. You go to there, and normally when you're coming down sharply, I usually like to go to the first trough after the peak, but we'll do this right now, and I'll show you that if this goes left side, right side, price, time match, it goes to there. But if I go to that trough, which is another technique that I use, if it's very obvious that you're just choosing the wrong plumb line, look at this. This is natural gas. And I'm going to take a little moment here because right now we're looking at the potential for a trend change in a lot of areas. Okay, and a nice question came in, a couple of questions. So let me do this. There's your inverted pyramid pattern or arch formation. And look how horrible it is. The low that was made back in November of 2.613 in the natural gas contract. We today, this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, Monday. Monday's low was 2.738. 2738 and 2613. Wow, that's close, right? So this is where you would expect to see. Look, yeah, the technicals are just, there's the V-shaped pattern in the blue on-balance volume. Stochastic is at 7%. That's lousy, but it's trying to turn up. So this is very important. However, if I go to this one, and I would like to ask you, Beaky, even over the weekend, you can just send me a question. The question is, why is this so superior? First Trust National Gas ETF to UNG, which basically is an ETF, and it looks horrible. Look at that. It took out the left side low of October, November of last year. And there's the trend line which it hit, but it's just barely moving. So all I can say is that when you ask me the question about FCG, in the natural gas area, I like this very much. Even now, the 9-period moving average on the weekly, it's Friday, it isn't 4 o'clock yet, but this 9-period moving average has flipped to positive after being barely pink for maybe 2-3 weeks. I like this very much. Going to sit with FCG for a while, nice yield. It's got a good yield, not sure, I think UNG uses futures contracts. I don't know. Maybe this First Trust Natural Gas, maybe this uses the gas companies, and there are a number of gas companies. Is Dominion one of them? Yep. Yeah. Dominion. In fact, it looks very much like the Dominion chart, natural gas distribution. Okay, I love this. FCG, I love it in the sense that there's a huge divergence, and if natural gas actually starts to move higher, this is going to benefit. I like it. 24.08 down a penny today. I'm going to put it on my list at least to have a good look at it over the weekend. FCG, I'll get a big check just to look at. I like it. And you love to sit with positions that you feel comfortable with. You're prepared to see them pull back, but as long as you feel confident that your trajectory, which is up, is still in the cards, it fits exactly with what we're looking at. I put my radar money. Oh, Z in the den was the one that put you onto this radar. Well, maybe Z knows more about it than I do, but it looks to me like it is holding individual gas companies. That's what I think. I might be wrong, but that's my guess. And the others is all to do with the futures. I like it. Good. And not only that, the high today is 24.22. What's the high that it has to really surpass? 24.25, the high of the 29th of July. If it does that, and it's only in leg B, I like it. Let's put it that way. Okay, next question came in. Let me just look. I had questions here and questions there. Okay, Tiger, YouTube. Monthly chart. Basil. Basil, great trade with IREN. I'm still holding half my position of my entry of the TNA. Thoughts on a stop for today? Okay, good. And then another question, LAR. All right, I'll get to them both. So let's just do this. So IREN, trading at 26.55. As I said before, this gave a 30% gain from the entry point 4 or 5 days ago. To today's high. Now it's pulling back. So I hope those of you who have the position took something off. You have to do that. That's just the way it works. With a gift, yesterday, did you think you'd get a gift today of a spike like this? I don't think so. So take it. It's worth doing that. So in the long term, this is a leg E in the weekly chart and a leg F/A in the monthly. Come on, it's either, whoa, be careful. Are you kidding? Buy everyone. Anyway, it's broken the 28.25 IPO month high of the November of 2021, having gone down to $1.02 in November of 2022. So I would say that's a little overbought, 30 times, right? But at the same time, all the technicals are really strong. I'm hoping that we can keep this for a core position and then add to it whenever it's appropriate. That's the thinking right now. We have taken something off because that's what you do. Now, the next question came in. Oh, and now the IWM. IWM, the Russell 2000. You see, it made an all-time, it made a recovery high in leg E at 237.02. The 9-period moving average is still very strong. 200-period moving average is way down 215. The low was 212.34 in April. And the MACD is good. The relative strength is not anywhere close as good as it was back in July, but then it was in the 226 area. So this is just, it's built very nicely. The relative strength is building nicely. Stochastics at 93%. I mean, you couldn't ask for more than that. That's really positive. And the unbalanced volume it's not oversold. It's not overbought. It's in the middle. It's just rallying. The weekly chart says that the 9-period moving average is a bit oversold. That's the only thing. Stochastics at 86%. MACD is good. This is the IWM iShares Russell 2000 ETF. Target 244.46. 244 was a target back in November of 2021. Cascades to 161 October of 2023. Rallies back November of 2024. I put 25, it should be 24 to 244.98. Just less than 50 cents above the all-time high. Pulls back. I think it's going to go there in a cup and a handle pattern. And I'll be back in a moment. Now I'll talk about the TNA as soon as I return. That's the 3 times long.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
In the den also, there was just a quick something here to say. Is today a great 2-click entry? I would just say, you remember yesterday at the same time we had that big pullback, and then I said, if you got it at this level, you could possibly have it. I had other things that I was doing. I was in and out, so I can't really talk about it. I did not do the 2-click, but it actually turned out to be a good 2-click session. So right here at 64.73, if you got in, I would say you really have a choice. You need to have. I wouldn't do this myself because I would have to have a wider 5-point stop. I don't really want to have a 5, and I'm busy right now. And then I have to leave just to go out for a while, so I couldn't do that. But yes, this is an opportunity. But I would prefer to 64.71 right now. I prefer to pay up a little bit. I'd rather be at 64.78. So I would, if you want, you could take a tad here, and if it goes higher, I would add, then have a core position. But right now, it's just too soon because of the massive selling that's taken place. That the E-mini has to hold 64. I would say 64.65. And then you can assess. So, in other words, I'm just going to say to you, for me, right now, I can't do anything. I lose my train of thought. So the TNA, which is the 3 times long, so for our subscriber in the Tiger YouTube, I hope a very satisfied subscriber, very good profit in the TNA, and that's 3 times long. What should I do? I'm going to say this. This is a leg E, and it's probably a peak E. I think that we're looking at a shaky week coming up. The only thing that tells me that is, and I didn't have a chance to do it, this is a worry for me. The SMH is pulling back over 7 points. And I spoke about it yesterday, and I said to subscribers, I'm really interested in the short side of the SMH. It's just on a trading basis. And if I had done what I wanted yesterday and I just didn't do it, it was just looked a little dangerous to do it. But if you put your stops in, you shouldn't say dangerous after all. But the SOXS, which is 3 times long, is bouncing nicely. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that the IWM, the Russell 2000, has been the go-to place for a while. Same as KRE, the regional banks. They were the laggards for so long. Now money is coming into them. So I have to put this into a package. At the same time, if you look at the XLF, which is the financials making an all-time high as we speak at 54.07. You remember the inside track I was talking about for the GDX? Gold miners, ETF. Look, we haven't even gone back into that, and it keeps fading under it. And this is an amazing thing, because if you look at the breakout, I've got to do this quickly because I'm going to run out of time. This breakout right here, this is the XLF, is the pink Select Financial Fund. The blue is the SPY, the S&P trading. This is the monthly chart. And it's broken to all-time highs after an exact 1-to-1 up and then a 1-to-1 down, and now a breakout to new highs. I love this. This is really an important thing. So that means it's important to consider that there could be a rotation going on. And that means that the rotation into the small caps, which has been going on for some time now, but it might be able to pick up speed if we start to see weakness in the biggies, like the NVIDIAs, like the semiconductors. They don't have to break down. They just have to stall going up. Robinhood, same sort of thing. Look at this. Robinhood is trading down. It's making this arch formation. It better hold 100, or actually 99. Otherwise, it's going right back to 94 or 93, the low it was made back at the 1st of August. Real long that. GE, real long. I'm watching it. It's just struggling here. It's had a nice bounce, but it has the peak B. It could turn into a dreaded H pattern at a peak B. MSFT, Microsoft, same thing. So we're talking about different categories. Look at that. 555.45, July the 31st. And we're in still a position from 338. And here it is down to 506. So that just says to me that we're going to be looking. So I don't want you to get out of, you've taken half of your TNA off. I love that. So the rotation between like the S&P 500 and then the small caps, or the XLF, the big banks, and the regional banks, the KRE, these are things that I think we have to take note of at this particular point. But the chart itself on a very short-term basis is 41.52 on the TNA. I don't know if I really, at the 200-period moving average at a leg E, it could pull back to 39. That's 2 points. You know what I'm going to suggest? Because you brought it up to me and you already got your half out, I don't want to mess too much with it. But what I would say to you is, I think that the IWM is going to pull back there for the 3 times long TNA. Why not do this? It's at 41.59. It's almost at the low of the day. If at any point today, last day of the trading month, there isn't a buying spree just to say, hey, instead there's a selling spree and we're close towards the low of the day, Tuesday, we could start to see a pullback, and then you have all of Thursday and Friday in which to try to regain strength. So I'm going to say, because it's 3 times long, I don't want you messing around with it. I'm going to suggest, out of the half that you have left, I know it will be very disappointing if it suddenly turns around and it's trading at 44, and you've already taken half off, and now you're going to take another, say, 10 shares or something off. But money management says you've got to be careful. This is 3 times. If it was the IWM, I wouldn't feel, I'd say, you know what, I'm prepared to hold the position because I think it's going higher. It might take time, but it's going higher. This is different. It's going to shrink. The 3 times every day it shrinks. That's why they go from 5,000 down to 1, because every month, every years and years and years, they get reduced in price. So I'm going to say, take another 10 off. I say 10. I don't know how much you've got. Take a little bit off now, but then that'll be the last time you're taking off because you're going to add to it on another pullback. You could. You don't have to. I'm just saying, I think there's another bit of weakness coming in early next week. You might want to use that, and then you can put it back. So think about it. But it's a TNA. It isn't the IWM. It is a 3 times. Therefore, you have to manage it very differently. I hope that helps you. Next question came in about LAR. So I believe this is in the lithium, LAR. Lithium. Yeah, LAR companies, Lithium, Argentina, trading at $3.35, down 8 cents. You know, I like this very much. You're messing around with a $3 stock, which could drop a point, 30%. That's not the issue. The issue here is, I think that this is acting very well. Let's look at did I just remember LIT, which is lithium. LIT is the ETF, I believe. Yeah, it's the battery, lithium and battery tech. Global X ETF, acting very well at 47. It's gone to a peak. G/C. I'll put it in as a G/C. Why not? G/C. Very strong new recovery high. Leg D in the weekly chart. Got to be a little careful. It's going close to the 48.51 200-period moving average. I like this very much. Leg B in the monthly. You know what I'm going to suggest? LAR. This is one of those. Why don't you? I believe you're in it from the way you've mentioned it. So long-term hold. High volume, yes, I agree with all of those things. We have been gobbling this up between 250 and 350, and it's trading LAR. That's exactly what I was going to. I didn't even read that, but now I'm reading it. That's exactly what I say. It's at 335 right now. Just build positions, but get excess of the amount that you want to get to and plan how you get to that number. Don't overdo it. It's only a $3.35 stock. But that's what I'm going to say. Be careful because 304 is the key support level. It's at 336 right now. I'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we've just got a moment here and a bunch of questions. So, first of all, NAT is Nordic American Tankers. We've been talking about this very favorably for a little while now. It's just made its third. Is this the second? Yeah, it's the second leg D. The first peak D was right there in mid-August. And now started another one, peak ABC. Today's in leg D in the daily, leg D in the weekly chart, and leg B in the monthly chart. Nordic American Tankers, NAT, trading at $3.10, up 9 cents. I like it very much. This is another one, very low price, but it's in the right area at this point because this transports oil. Next question came in. Yeah, I'm going to do, so what I do for my subscribers, every Friday afternoon, I take an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is, and I do a market overview, a video. It's almost, it's really like I could treat it as some kind of a more educational, not just a video, but definitely as a a program itself by itself. Meantime, what I'm going to do is I will be looking at talking about this. We've spoken about it for a little while. That alternate harvest, the ETF cannabis sector, is starting to move up, and there's a lot of talk that maybe Trump will do something about this in terms of the regulations. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't have to be. It's starting to move by itself. I'll be talking about that this afternoon in my webinar. And the other thing that's really important at this particular time is are we looking at some kind of short-term pullback that's just momentary, or is it the SMHs, the semiconductors, telling us that this could turn out to be a little bit more serious in time? Maybe not so much in price, but in time. So those are things I'll be discussing in great detail. One other thing is that we're looking at different areas in the market, because I think that we are looking at a little a tiredness in some of the really big winners, and we'll be looking at things that are fresh, and we're trying to put, we've built up a money supply, at least a kitty, and we're trying to put it to work at this particular point. Have a wonderful long weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday. Check out my opening call, and if you become a